It is Saturday, April 4th, and welcome to the Kahnawake COVID-19 Task Force Daily Update. I'm Joe Delaronde. We have three guests on the update today, so we're going to get right into it. For the first time on the program is the fire chief. He's been a busy man, so we finally got to bring him in. David Scott, if you can come on down, you're up first. David Scott, Kahnawake Fire Brigade Chief.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me here to talk about, I have three things I want to talk about, and I apologize if I'm not looking you straight in the eyes all the time. I have some notes that I need to look at. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the ambulance service, and to let you know that all shifts are being covered as required. There has been no infection yet with the virus on any of the paramedics. The shifts are 24-hour in station. If you're going to call in for an ambulance and you suspect that you have the virus or you have the symptoms, I'm asking you to be honest with the dispatcher. They're going to screen the call. The peacekeeper dispatcher will screen the call. They will then call the fire station and speak to the paramedic. The paramedic will call you back on the number that you give to the peacekeeper dispatcher so that they can be totally prepared if they have to respond to your house and you have the virus. I ask you also to evaluate your injuries that you have before you call the fire station. Don't request an ambulance if you think you broke your finger or your toe or you have a minor cut or you need a Band-Aid. Now is not the time for that. We want to keep our guys in station. We want to keep them safe, and we want to keep them isolated as much as possible. I also can tell you that if there is a transport to any hospital by any person from Kahnawake, family members are not permitted into the back of the ambulance anymore unless it's a pediatric, it's a child under 18. Then we can bring somebody to the hospital. You're not going to be able to get into the hospital anyway. They're going to refuse you at the hospital. On the fire side, I want to talk about what's happening right now in town. It's the grass fires that are happening, the brush fires. Burning your grass at home is not going to make it turn greener any faster. It's not going to help it at all. We've already had 3 or 4 calls. We've already had a shed catch fire from someone burning grass in their backyard. Firefighting is a close contact team effort. We're trying to isolate our firefighters as much as possible with social distancing. Every time the firemen are called out on a call such as a brush or a grass fire, it's hard to maintain that distancing. All that equipment has to be sanitized and disinfected after the call, including the vehicles. It's very labor intensive. If you are burning grass or you're burning brush, someone is going to show up at your house. I don't know if it'll be the fire officer in charge of the fire department or it will be a peacekeeper. You're going to be told that you have to shut it out. We need your assistance with this. I need to keep my guys isolated and safe. They're doing their part by staying home. I'm asking you to do your part by not burning any grass or debris. For medical transport, I think you're aware, medical transport is delivering the meals through, in coordination with KSCS from the rail, and that is going 7 days a week, although I think they've moved it down to 1 delivery per day for the 2 meals. I know they're very busy. The medical transport drivers are also committed to the community and ensuring that the elders and the people that are stuck at home are getting the proper food and meals that they need. The last thing I want to do is thank the 207 for the meals that are being brought into the fire station right now for the paramedics who are on duty. They are bringing in a lunch, they're bringing in a supper. The paramedics basically are in station for 24 hours and cannot leave the fire station during the whole 24 hours of their shift. They can't go home for supper, they can't go home for lunch, they cannot go home if they have children to put them to bed for 20 minutes. They're stuck in the fire station for 24 hours. They're doing their part to stay apart from any possible connection with the virus. I also want to thank people who are donating food to the fire station and desserts and snacks. It's much appreciated. The guys are really happy when we get the delivery. Ring the doorbell, drop it on the front step, and somebody will come out and pick it up. I just want you to remember that the Kahnawake paramedics and the firefighters already have a high-stress job, and they are stressed about the possibility of bringing this virus home to their families. That is the big concern right now. We are doing everything that we can to isolate them and protect them, and as a result of that, also to protect their family members. I want to thank you also to the volunteers who have been calling into the fire station and giving your name and your phone numbers in the possibility or event that we do need help with fires or ambulance. I have received a lot of calls from past members, firefighters, paramedics, first responders. If you think you can volunteer, you can give us a call. We'll take your name and your number and we'll contact you back at a later date. And I especially want to thank all fire brigade, paramedic, and firefighter family members for your understanding in this difficult time and allowing that your husband or spouse, boyfriend or girlfriend, to commit to doing the shifts that are required to protect this community. Nyawa.
Nyalkoa, David. And again, don't light grass fires, please. It's busy enough as it is right now, and it's stressful enough. So that's something that's so easily stopped. All you have to do is don't light the match. The committee has been very busy, and I have to say I looked at the Eastern Door yesterday's paper, and page 3 had all kinds of comments. People really seem to have a great appreciation for the work that's going on. Some of the people are out front. Others spend a lot more time in the background. One of those gentlemen who works in the background for the most part is Ajeza Foot. He's the Emergency Management Coordinator. And we had him on for a few moments last week, and we'd like to bring him on once again. Ladies and gentlemen, Ajeza Foot.
Well, thank you, Joe. Good day, good afternoon, Kahnawake. Commissioner of Public Safety is off today, and with a needed R&R. So there's only a couple of topics that I want to talk about. One is for the testing site. For the security personnel, we presently have 10 personnel from various departments within Mohawk Council of Kahnawake filling in and to ensure the site remains safe 24 hours a day. In addition, we have also a peacekeeper that is present for additional security and during the testing hours. And I want to thank all those people who are involved with this situation, I guess, the testing site. I want to say thank you very much. For the layout of the site, initially we had a concern from a community member about privacy issues. We addressed that. So we put up erected in front of the hospital a privacy wall. So that would be the individuals going into the testing site would have a little bit more privacy. And also I put additional security personnel on the River Road so that they can keep the flow of traffic going. For local traffic in the area, when traveling around the Cattery Hospital Center, just be mindful of those going in for the testing. Going into testing, and be respectful for all the road signs and closures in the area. I also want to say thank you very much to the surrounding neighbors with their patience and their understanding during this time. I know it's quite loud and a lot of traffic going through and all this stuff. So I just want to say thank you very much on that part. For the medical supplies, our supplier has delivered approximately 1,700 masks. As of yesterday, emergency management has distributed approximately 1,200 masks that was going towards the Kahnawake Fire Brigade, the Kahnawake Peacekeepers, and well as for Kahnawake KCS. I received confirmation yesterday for a shipment of approximately 768 bottles of hand sanitizer that will arrive in the coming days. The hand sanitizer meets the requirements for pre-hospital and hospital usage. Once it arrives, it will be logged in, and it will be placed in a holding facility along with the additional equipment. In addition to other personal protective equipment, it is due to arrive shortly. This includes additional masks, both regular masks and N95 masks, medical gloves, gowns, face shields, and a few other items. For the road signage, as previously stated by the Commissioner of Public Safety regarding new road signage, was approved, and it's currently being produced, and it will arrive in the community in the next couple of days. So that's my update for today. Just a reminder, maintain a physical distancing and stay home if you can. And enjoy your rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Right, Nyawa Jeza, good job. And good job, Lloyd. I hope you're not watching this right now because you need the rest. All right, it's time for the update from the director of the Cattery Memorial Hospital Center. So without further ado, here is Lisa Westaway.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Just a little short update about the testing site. We tested the 100th person today, so we're actually right up to 100 people. So we still have a steady flow of people coming in to be tested who are exhibiting symptoms. One thing I want to highlight, and so I get these updates on a daily basis, is that many people coming through have very, very mild symptoms. What that tells me is that we have to be especially cautious to stay inside if we're self-isolating, to keep our physical distance 2 meters. As always, we can't let up that it's especially important. Today is absolutely beautiful, so being out on your back gallery is great. Going out for walks if you're not in self-isolation is great, but always keeping your 2 meter distance. We have a few results that are starting to trickle in, but very minimal and not enough for me to be able to yet identify, kind of a picture or what I see in the community. And the results that have trickled in have been a bit of both positives and negatives. So I can't say that there are no positive people in Kahnawake. So since we announced our first positive case, it's been a couple of weeks now. So those people are feeling better. They are no longer contagious, and we haven't talked much about other cases since. And it's been. I'd say it's been a slow progression, although we don't really know how many have been tested since before our site opened. But we haven't, it's true, had many positives, but we do see some trickling in. So we are not out of the woods, and I don't want you to get that impression that we are with this wonderful weather, which seems to somehow make us think that everything is okay. And everything is okay, actually. It's not the same, but we are here. The sun is rising, spring is coming. I see buds on the trees and birds singing. So there are some things that we can count on that are still the same. And so one thing that I wanted to talk about, well, what's really important to me, I really, really enjoy getting the newspapers, Uriwase and the Eastern Door, and reading them is actually really inspirational for me. I see so many positive things happening in the community through those articles. So I hope it's okay. I wanted to read something from Geraldine's stand-up. I didn't ask your permission, but you're in the newspaper, so I hope it's okay that I'm reading something that you quoted, because for me, it was very inspirational, and I'm not sure that everybody reads the paper, so I want to share this with as many people as possible. So the question was, what do you think of the local response of the COVID-19 pandemic? So Geraldine's stand-up says, Kahnawake response team is excellent. Well, thank you. That's not why I'm reading this, but thank you anyways. Our well-being is a testament to that. Our community response is to be praised as well. We are all doing very well. Personally, today, Wednesday, is the 19th day that I am in seclusion. There is a deeper meaning to COVID-19, and that is the moral and spiritual aspects. We are being asked to go within and examine our lives. The universe is giving us the time we need for self-examination. Thinking creates our reality, our ancestors say. So what have we been thinking to create pain and hardship on our mother, the earth? For most of us, the problem is not thinking. It isn't because we are not intelligent. I think it is because we have forfeited our wisdom. Our ability to reason with Gani Gunrio has been left to wither. Instead, we have struggled to become rich monetarily, so much so that relationships and bonding with family has taken second place. We have become emotionally poor. COVID-19 has allowed us to stop and reevaluate where this community is headed. And no, we don't want to go back and continue the way we were. It was not normal. We want to make it better. We want to look at the world with love. We need to change the lens with which to see our world. When I read that, I was floored, because I actually, when you sit and think about it, we are seeing evidence of people doing this all around us every single day. So I wanted to just talk or bring forth some of the things that I've seen, some of those positive things about how we are reevaluating our lives on a day-to-day basis. So I see people who have become seamstresses for our healthcare workers and who are making scrubs for them. I see tons of food baskets being delivered, and food donations and monetary donations for those food baskets. I see financial support being offered to our people, donations from individuals who are calling from all over, not just our own community, just trying to be of assistance. I see businesses who are changing their total mandate just to be able to provide. I see people who are continuing to work through fear and anxiety on a day-to-day basis. I see people chatting with their family members through windows and blowing kisses and sending love. Those holding up signs at Cattery Memorial Hospital Centre for their loved ones in front of the hospital. I see families who are separated, not because they have to be, well, they do, but also because of the immense love that they have for each other. I see people baking and doing, the littlest bit that they can to make others happy. I see people smiling as they're walking down the bike paths at 2 meters distance, but smiling and waving, where I never saw that before, or very rarely. So all of these things we can't forget, and I hope and I bring them up so that you tomorrow, today, tomorrow, the next day, can look around you and bear witness to these things that we're seeing all around us, and how COVID-19 and all of its negative side has a lot of positive sides, and how it is changing our lives in the way Geraldine Stand-Up says and hopes that it will. I know for myself, I'm continuously reevaluating what happiness means, what love means. Do I really want to redo my kitchen? Yes, but that's, just a little thing on the side. But I'm really seeing a community that is full of inspiration, full of teamwork, full of love, and is really working together to really make a difference. So I have a little bit of homework for you today, just that you open your eyes, that you take the time to notice all of these positive things happening around you, that you maybe write them down, that the things that become important to you, you take note of. So when all of this is over and we have our human tendencies to go back to the way things were, we can pull out those notes and remember, what was it that got us through these difficult times? What was it that was so inspirational and positive about the new way that we're living, so that we become changed people through this? And thank you, Geraldine, for helping me see that today. So thank you.
There was a lot I was going to say, but there's no way I can top that. I just want to, I do want to say thank you to our technical team. If you saw yesterday's presentation, and if you saw it live, it was pretty impressive. I went home and saw it today on Paul's Cable, and I just want to take my hat off to Winnetdio Daibo, my old colleague, my good friend, of course, Justice Paulson Lahash and Jean Daibo. These guys have been doing just a wonderful job through the past several weeks, and now we have Winnetdio back in person. He didn't for a while. He was one of those who had been away. So I'd like to say hats off, guys. Good work. And everybody, really enjoy the day. Take care of yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow with our next update. So on behalf of all of us here in Yahuakoa, Dano Onigiwahi.